Thanks. Let's take a live look at the White House, where it was a busy day for officials there and President Donald Trump as they work to manage rapidly evolving conflicts abroad.
Tonight, Erie News Now Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon is joining us live at the White House. Brendan, with the latest on Russia, Ukraine, and the Middle East after a big meeting earlier today. Good evening.
Hey there, Mike and Eva. Good evening to you. Certainly a lot of moving pieces here at the White House today, where this morning President Trump spent his morning on the phone with Vladimir Putin. The two began speaking around 10 a.m. and spoke for several hours about that 30-day ceasefire proposal with Ukraine. Officials say the call, which I said it began around 10 a.m., went well. Many are hoping this is really kind of the beginning of the end of Russia's war with Ukraine. Now, in a readout of the call with Putin, the White House said, quote, both leaders agreed this conflict needs to end with a lasting peace. They also stressed the need for improved bilateral relations between the United States and Russia. The readout goes on to say the leaders agreed that the movement to peace will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire, as well as technical negotiations on implementation of a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, full ceasefire, and permanent peace. These negotiations will begin immediately in the Middle East. Now, the Middle East was a really big topic for the two leaders, according to the readout, which says both Trump and Putin agree that Iran should never be in a position to destroy Israel, end quote. Trump's talks with Putin coming just hours after Gaza's fragile ceasefire was shattered early Tuesday. It was the deadliest day for the region in over a year. The ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas had already been on thin ice after phase one ended more than 2 weeks ago, and all sides have been sort of at odds on how to proceed. Israel said the strikes were due to Hamas's refusal to release hostages and that the strikes were preemptive, claiming that Hamas was planning to carry out terror attacks. Hamas strongly rejected those claims, calling them, quote, baseless pretexts to justify Israel's return to war. According to Palestinian officials, over 400 people were killed and more than 500 were injured. Mike and Eva, Senator John Fetterman earlier today on social media, of course, we know Senator Fetterman is one of the loudest pro-Israel voices in Congress. He took to social media not too long ago saying, quote, Hamas does not want peace. I unapologetically 100% stand with Israel and demand the release of all remaining hostages. Again, that was Senator John Fetterman earlier on social media. Back to the topic of Ukraine and Russia, Moscow says a key condition for preventing any further escalation to this war is by halting any foreign military aid and intelligence into Ukraine. Tomorrow, Russia and Ukraine are set to exchange prisoners, but there has been no indication that Russian President Vladimir Putin has accepted the 30-day ceasefire proposal endorsed by President Trump and backed by Ukraine. Reporting outside the White House for Erie News Now, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Mike, Eva, back to you.